Are you ready, kids?
Yeah!
I can't hear you.
Yeah!
Oh, who lives in a shack all up in the hood?
Tile, sponge, square pants.
Absorbent and yellow and grouty is he.
Tile, sponge, square pants.
If nautical nonsense be something you wish,
Tile, sponge, square pants.
then drop on the deck and flop like a fish.
Tile, sponge, square pants.
Tile, sponge, square pants. Tile, sponge, square pants. Tile, sponge, square pants. Tile, sponge, square pants.
We have a lot of cool stuff done in here. We've actually started the finish work in here. The floors you can't really see real good because we put paper down again, but they're finished. We have poly all over them, which is awesome. It looks great in here. I mean, this old basketball floor now looks like new basketball floor, just without all the striping. So it's the maple's real pretty, but the oak in the bedrooms just turned out phenomenal. I mean, I wish that we didn't have this maple, that we would have known about that stuff the entire time, and that we would have put it throughout the house. It would have been easier. It was easier to sand. It looks better. It's just, for us, it's a much better look and product for this house. But since we already had this put down, we're just going to go ahead and roll with it. It still looks good. This weekend we did trim. Contractor brought out the 1x6s for me. I planed them on Friday afternoon. Then yesterday morning, which was Saturday, we all came out here. Me and Misty came out here and we planed them all, I planed them, then we routed them yesterday. It's an awesome profile. It's actually exactly the profile that I wanted, but it was like $6 a foot for that trim, which is way too expensive. This ended up being about 50 cents a foot because I went ahead and bought the router bit, put it in my buddy Alex's router box, and we just made a bunch of trim, and it turned out awesome. So we're really happy with that. We didn't get it painted before we put it down, which is going to make it a pain to paint, but I had too many guys this weekend come out and actually help that I couldn't just say, okay, hey, we got to wait on paint to dry. So we're going ahead and we just went ahead and put it down. Contractor didn't get my doors in like I had requested by Friday, so we're going to be putting doors in next weekend, which means we didn't get nearly as much trim done as we could have, because without the doors in the holes, I can't run baseboard up to them because I don't know where that trim around the door is going to actually end up. So we can only put trim down where there isn't a door, on walls where there isn't a door. So it's probably about half of it, maybe a third of it down. But next weekend will be putting the doors in, or better be anyways. We've got cabinets coming in on Wednesday, custom built cabinets for this space, which is going to be awesome. So we'll have our island and our cabinets in next week, which means I got to do countertops soon. I'm doing concrete countertops on the wall, and then my buddy Tom Pritchett, another shout out to Tom Pritchett, is giving me all the wanga to do for the island. So we'll have a really dark wood top for the island, and then the concrete, it'll be like a blackish brown color. So it'll look good. We also got crown up. My buddy Alex came out. Thanks again to Alex for coming out and working your tail off, putting all this crown up. He had to cut out early on Saturday, so he showed me how, and we finished most of it up in here, except for all the complicated angles that I can't figure out. Crown's a pain. Don't just try to think, oh, I'm going to get it and be able to do it. You really got to know what you're doing, or at least have somebody show you what you're doing. But you'll see all the crown throughout here in the living room, down the hallway, and in the master is done. So it looks really good. Let's take a look in the master, and we'll look around in there. All right, the master is coming along. We've got the oak down here. It looks really good in here. The oak is down. It's got the poly on, which this oak looks amazing. It looks so good in here. We got a whole lot of the trim down in here too. The trim looks really good. It's just not painted, which is a pain. The crown is up. It's completed. The crown is absolutely completed in here. The closets are pretty much trimmed out except for the walls with the doors on them. I mean, that's pretty much it in here. We've got all the electricity in and all the lights up and everything's pretty. And we're actually getting electricity hooked up to this week. Hopefully. We've got all the plugs in. So once we get the electricity hooked up, they can check for all the cut wires. So we're gonna go head in here, look around. Come on guys, let's go.
I'm ready when you are.
This is pretty exciting. Last weekend? Yeah, last weekend was tile. We got a lot of tiling done. In here, the tile is completed. I have a little bit more to do, but not much. Super excited about this. This tile in here looks good. Misty picked out some awesome tile for in here. It's all laid. I just got to grout it. So it's a beautiful tile. We've got the subway tiles going up the wall, which actually draws your eye up, and it made this room feel so much bigger. When, like I said last time, it felt like a really small room when it was just drywall. Man, it did. But now that it's got this on the walls and it goes up, man, it looks good. And the rock on the floor, some of it's chipped up. I'm gonna have to put some new ones down because you could tell exactly where one of the sheets was in one of them. So I got a bunch of them chipped up now. I can place rocks and make it look like it's not a solid sheet of rock anymore. So that's cool. And the 16 by 16 tiles on the floor, they look plain white, but they've got some gray streaks in them. So everything, all the white tile in here has got gray streaks, and the streaks are all going up. So it once again draws your eye up. I never was a firm believer, and never even thought that could happen. And put something in a room and it makes it feel bigger. Well, I'm an idiot, I guess, because it does. It works. In here, we're not doing any trim yet because I haven't grouted, so we're not doing the trim. Over here, and the dog room slash extra room, the green room. Nothing much has changed since he didn't get the drywaller out here to finish the drywall. We couldn't put any trim down there, so we just got one piece in here and we didn't really do anything with it. All the plugs are in here, the switches are getting wired, but my buddy Riley is having a really hard time because the electrician came out and did all the electrical work, but we're doing all the vanity work, I guess you would say, just putting the switches and the plugs and stuff in, because that you can do yourself. You can put the switches and stuff in. The switches, though, I mean, it's really hard for us to find where all these switches go because of all the cut wires. You can't do, since we don't have electricity yet, we can't say, oh, well, this light's not working or this plug's not working. We've got to do tests with a tester to see if they're even hooked up to a light. Like you twist these wires together, it completely went blank on what it's called. And everybody's going to be like, oh, it's this. And I just said it like 20 minutes ago, but I can't remember now. But basically, you twist the wires together up top, and then you test down here with a tester, and it'll tell you, even without electricity on, if that's what you're looking for. But with all the cut wires, we can't figure anything out, so we've got to get the contractor to chase those wires, which that's fun. This bedroom in here, same thing. We got trim down everywhere we could in the closets. This has got the oak. It's all covered up. Crown's done in here because Alex did that last weekend. With these transitions on this drop-down ceiling where it drops from 10 to 8, those are ridiculous angles. I can't figure it out, but Alex figured it out, so he's really good at that. The laundry room, though, this is where I ended last time on my rant about contractor not doing what he was supposed to do. The water heater closet is now a water heater closet. He framed it out, did it right. This is where we're keeping all our tools now because it's the only place that doesn't have a floor in it. So that's where we're putting everything now. But now I've got it, and now he's just got to get the drywaller out here to finish it. Also in the master and guest bath, I got to move the plumbing because our stupid plumber put the plumbing in the wrong spot for the vanities. So I've got to take the sheetrock out of my master bath behind where my vanity's going and move the plumbing, put it back, and then have the drywall fix it again. Another thing, there's a plug right there. If you look at other videos, it got drywalled over and nobody noticed it. That's very, very dangerous. I'm so glad that we realized that today. I was like, hey, there's supposed to be a plug here. Sure enough, poked a hole in the wall, there's the box. So thank God I found that. We found another one like that in the kitchen. So that's another tip that I can give you. Once your electrician comes through, make sure you take pictures of every wall that has an outlet in it, or rooms, whatever, wherever an outlet is, before the sheetrock goes on. Because after the sheetrock goes on, if they miss one, which happens a lot, it's just something that happens. They just don't notice it and don't cut it out. There's always going to be a hidden box somewhere. So you need to be able to go back and look at those pictures and be like, oh, there's a box right there. I need to cut that out before we completely forget and we've got bare wires hanging out in that box. That's one of the tips I can give you this week. Well, you guys, I hope you are having a great week. I hope you had a good last 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks, so we're cutting our time in half between films now. But things are coming along. We're going to be homeless as of July 1st. So this place has to be livable July 1st. It doesn't have to be completely finished, but we have to have a C of A, which is a certificate, or C of O, which is a certificate of occupancy. Once we have that, we can move in. But that means we've got to have all the electrical done, all the plumbing done, and this place, the skirting has to be on. It has to be sealed up with an AC unit and everything. So we've got a little more than 3 weeks to get that finished, and it's just nerve-wracking because we couldn't afford to have 2 mortgages anymore. So the place that we're living right now, that we're renting, we turned in our notice. We've got to be out by July 1st. And if July 1st rolls around and this place isn't done, we've got places to live, but it's not our home. So you guys pray, whatever you're going to do, whatever your thing is, do it for us because we need it. We need it. But I guess this is it, you guys. You guys have a good week. We're going to be here working all week. Next weekend, we're going to be doing, like I said, everything else. So we'll see you guys next time.